one, I'd like to call this meeting to order. State that this meeting being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Bill 1975, Chapter 231. It was properly noticed and has been posted and certified by the clerk. Please call the roll.
Mr. Hopatcong.
Here.
Ms. Johnson. Here. I know they're here.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why they have
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Here.
Mayor Prince.
Here. Please join me with flag salute. And we call the roll first. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in a moment of silence for the poor people in the Ukraine that are still struggling. Thank you. Committee reports. Don, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to bring everyone's attention to the Center for Prevention and Counseling. This Saturday, they have a wellness yoga class at 65 Newton Sparta Road. It's this Saturday from 9:30 to 10:30. They have certified instructors, and if you don't have a mat, don't worry about it. Mats are provided. We had wellness yoga here at the community center, and it was a great de-stressor. Helped people just relax for a little bit. So I'm really happy that the county is doing this wellness yoga as well. So that'll be Saturday. In fact, every Saturday from 9:30 to 10:30, 65 Newton Sparta Road. I know there's a lot of questions in town. Just want to bring everyone's attention to Meet the Mayor Night, which will be May 16th at 6:30 at the Hopatcong Community Center. Any questions or concerns that you have, if you would like to speak with the mayor directly, he loves to chat and he will sit with you and talk with you and answer your questions if you would like a face-to-face meeting with him. That would be May 16th. On May 17th, we have a Journey bus coming to the parking lot in front of the Hopatcong Community Center. That will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Now that the weather is getting nicer, we're seeing a lot of residents coming out during the day to meet up with the Journey bus, and they're able to get county resources. So that's very, very helpful. And also on Tuesday, May 17th, same day, we have the Caregiver Support Group. And that starts at the Hopatcong Community Center at 5:30 p.m. And that support group has been very helpful to people taking care of a loved one at home. It gives you a little bit of a respite, someone to talk to, and it also gives you resources going forward in taking care of that loved one. There's resources that you can get a hold of that they will put you in touch with. So that's next Tuesday, the 17th at 5:30. And I think that's it for now, Mayor.
Thank you. Brent, you're up.
I don't have anything today.
Rich, you're up.
I just want to say that we are looking at bringing in some fiber into the town. And if anyone has any comments, you can email me. We have a choice between a company that is a big national company and will bring it to the municipal building. But they're saying that they don't really want to hit the residents. But we have another company who wants to hit the municipal building, but then will obviously offer services to the residents. So if anyone has any comments about that, please email me, and I'd like to get some feedback. That's all.
Thank you. John, you're up.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to wish everyone, wherever applicable, happy Mother's Day. From the Environmental Commission, the Beautification Committee has been hard at work. You'll see a lot of stuff when they start blooming, and the theme this year is red, white, and blue. There's a new environmental lobby display out in the lobby. It commemorates the 50th anniversary. And there's also somewhere in the near future, the Lake Hopatcong News is going to be doing an article on this being the 50th anniversary of the Hopatcong Environmental Commission. At our last meeting, we talked about that, as well as the Sustainable Jersey. The free tree giveaway that was a couple Saturdays went very well. And some of the leftovers, we had some scouts that did some planting out off Stanhope Sparta Road, so none of them went to waste. The Audubon guided bird walk, which was scheduled for this Saturday, has been moved due to inclement weather forecast. It's been moved to Sunday, May 8th, from 9 to 12, and it's at the Rolling Eaves Sanctuary. So if you are a mother that likes to hike and likes to watch birds, you're in. Anyway, it has been moved from Saturday to Sunday. The block party is May 21st, and the rain garden dedication and the National Trails Day hike will be on June 4th. Also, the the historic oak tree seedling, we did get that. We picked it up on April 29th. It's been potted, and hopefully it'll do well in potted. And once it's ready to be planted, we're looking into exactly where we're going to plant it. From Municipal Alliance, Hero Boys is moving forward, and Saturday, May 14th, will be the first movie night that Municipal Alliance is merging with the Crescent Cove Beach Club Association, and we're doing some movies at Crescent Cove. The gates open there at 7 p.m. The movie will start probably around 8:30, because obviously it needs to be dark. Also, the Hudson Forum Charity Hike is Saturday, May 14th. That's rain or shine. And from Recreation, the next event coming up will be the Memorial Day Parade, which will be Saturday, May 28th. That's all.
Thank you. Brian, you're up.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce, our next B2B breakfast is next Tuesday, May 10th. The next Chamber of Commerce meeting is May 13th, next Friday. Over to Sussex County Municipal Utilities. The next Sharps Disposal event is May 5th, and the next paper shredding event is May 20th. And I'd like to invite everybody in the town to come see the high school musical, Disney's Beauty and the Beast. It starts tomorrow night. It'll be Thursday night, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., Friday night at 7 p.m. And on Saturday, there's a 2 p.m. matinee and a 7 p.m. evening. There's 2 shows on Saturday. Please try and come. I understand it's very good. And that's all I have now.
Jennifer, you're up.
Okay. I attended the Board of Ed meeting. They had a special meeting on 429, a committee as a whole. It was really awesome to watch them talk publicly and come up with solutions for the funding cuts that we are facing. They're looking at sale of property and some school closing or a school closing. Hero Boys is starting on Friday, May 6th. We're going to be meeting every Friday, starting May 6th. If you want to sign up with pinwheel.us. 4th and 5th graders are going to be going from 2:30 to 3:30. 3rd graders are going to be going from 3 to 4. We're just overlapping. I happen to be the head coach, so good luck. And it ends with the PBA taco run on June 18th. I also wanted to say something. While I am disappointed and disgusted with the state aid decreases, I do not blame individuals, but do fault the Governor's Fair Funding Act formula. One council member's comments do not in any way represent my thoughts on the subject. I said it 3 years ago, and I will say it again. As council members, we are expected to conduct ourselves in a respectable manner in every aspect of our lives, including online. That's it for me.
Thank you. Administrative report.
Real briefly, Mayor, thank you. First thing on the list is June 10th is the hard and fast date for the county to pave River Styx Road. They're staying hard and fast to that because it leads me into our next issue. Our first PFAS filter for River Styx is being shipped May 31st, and it's due to get to River Styx location by June 2nd. Didn't. So my conversation with the county was, why? Get out of my way. Because we're not gonna hold up that filter coming in on a flatbed tractor trailer with a crane in the middle of the road, and they're gonna try to pave that road. So we go first. That's been mandated. That filter's going in first. They said they had to have the hard June 10th date to keep their schedule going for their paving schedule. So we pushed that out. And then lastly, finally, firehouse number 3, the elevator is getting the state inspection first thing in the morning. Pending no issues with that, we'll be able to open up that for the firehouse. And that's all I have for tonight.
Proclamation, we actually have one tonight. This is a proclamation reaffirming the commitment and objective of the Borough of Hopatcong Green Team. Whereas the Borough of Hopatcong adopted resolution number 2015-177, establishing a Green Team Advisory Committee at a regular meeting conducted on Wednesday, the 17th day of June 2015. And whereas the Borough of Hopatcong resolved in that resolution that they wish to pursue local initiatives and actions that would lead to sustainable Jersey municipal certification. And whereas the Borough of Hopatcong further resolved in that resolution to create the Borough of Hopatcong Green Team to serve as the Borough of Hopatcong's agent for the sustainable Jersey municipal certification process. And whereas the Green Team, composed of these individuals, Michael Francis, Mayor, Ronald Tappan, Borough Administrator, Bradley Hofferkamp, Council Member, Don Roberts, Council Member, John Young, Council Member, Richard Kinsler, Council Member, William Donegan, Zoning Officer, Catherine Millian, Recreation and Environmental Commission members Jewel Gorman, Pat Hofferkamp, Jennifer Barone, Georgia Schilling, Lisa Hirschfield, who are interested in advancing the efforts of the Borough of Hopatcong in the Sustainable Jersey Municipal Certification Program, and that have been appointed to the Green Team for 2022. And whereas the group has been creating and cataloging significant sustainability actions so that the Borough of Hopatcong may maintain Sustainable Jersey certification at the bronze level and increase total action points toward attaining the silver status in 2022. Now therefore be resolved that I, Michael Francis, Mayor of Hopatcong, do hereby proclaim that 1, the Green Team of the Borough of Hopatcong is active in the community in advancing sustainable practices and actions included in the Sustainable Jersey Municipal Certification Program. 2, the Green Team has been and shall continue to be composed of individuals who have demonstrated interest in advancing the efforts of the Borough of Hopatcong to pursue certification through the Sustainable Jersey Municipal Certification Program. And 3, the role of the Green Team has been and shall continue to be to lead and coordinate the sustainability activities of the community. Signed, Michael Francis, date May 4th, 2022. So, thank you for the Green Team. Okay. And now I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. An opportunity is given to the public for commentary. Comments are limited to 1 comment, no more than 5 minutes. So welcome, public. First up.
I'd like to start off by saying that I agree with Jen and what she said about the funding and the fact that it
Would
is
you give
awful.
your name?
Heather, Windsor Avenue. The funding is absolutely atrocious and no one wants it, but the comments that were made by a council member are absolutely disgusting. From somebody who grew up in an urban area in between Jersey City and Newark, that is an absolutely disgusting statement. These kids did nothing wrong. So to call them crackheads is completely unfair to those children and those parents. There are a lot of people, which you don't realize because you grew up here, I'm sure. There are a lot of people from Hopatcong that live in Hopatcong that come from those areas, that work in those areas. You have no idea how many people from this town are actually transplants from Essex County, Hudson County, the areas that you call urban. And the crackheads that you refer to, nobody I know is a crackhead. I know a lot of people from that town, from those towns, and those type of towns. I spent my entire childhood there. So that's disgusting and you should be asked to step down.
Next up. Come on, Dick.
I was pleased the last meeting at the plans of the council and the mayor to improve the recreation areas, the parks, and also give more access to the lake to the residents. I'm very pleased to see the paving by the Maxim Hudson School. And I just noticed on my way here that there's two River Styx signs right on top of each other. Yet there is no sign there for Bell Street, which is on the other side of Lakeside Boulevard. And I've been asking for a while for the sign to be put up because when I was looking for a house, I was trying to find Bell Street and there was no sign, and there still is no sign. So it would seem maybe one of those River Styx signs could come down, and also they should, while they're fixing that corner, they could put a Bell Street sign up. Let's see. As far as the optimum contract, I'm glad to see that the mayor is concerned about it, as I am, as far as the high price that Optimum is charging on the service. And I was wondering, and it was mentioned at the last meeting that when the contract comes up, there will be a public hearing. I hope that the residents will get enough notice so that they can attend, and so we can have an official from the company here to let him know or her know what our feelings are. And possibly with the contract, we could make it a shorter period than 10 years, because that's an awful long time for the company to have a monopoly or whatever. Okay, basically that's it. Thank you.
All right. Next up.
Mayor Modes, I recently learned of the comments that were made online, and being the butt of several residents in this town who have been on the receiving end of abusive comments by certain people on the council, at least they were confined to YouTube and to the council room. This is going out all over Facebook. And for those of you who are supposed to be promoting our town and what a wonderful place it is to live, it doesn't really make any of you look good, except for Jennifer, who came out and said something against that it doesn't represent her. So I assume, just like when I was the butt of abusive comments, no one else said that it had nothing to do with them and they didn't agree with it. It makes our town look really like we're really welcoming people here, aren't we? Thank you.
More?
Saying that because you didn't speak up, you're basically condoning what he did.
More
Because she didn't
comment?
individually speak up like Jen did. That's what she meant.
Thank you for explaining.
Not everyone knew about it.
I'll entertain a motion.
It's all over
You knew about it when it was done to me.
People were.
Absolutely.
You knew about it when it was done to me, and at one point,
Are there any more
he
public
said he was
comments?
speaking for you. So you did know about
For
it.
me?
We're done with
Yes.
public comment.
When they went after Ryan, and they went after everybody that attended the meetings.
Okay.
That's it. Stop it. Good evening.
Evening. Might get a little emotional. My name is Rachel Rodriguez.
Would you give your name to the court, please?
Rachel Rodriguez, and I reside at 9 Skyline Drive. I have this whole write-up of what I wanted to say, but I can't. A sitting councilman made some comments that were just disgusting, and while he sits there and smirks because I think he finds it amusing that his posts are now getting some attention, I find it sickening that anyone, especially a sitting council member, would call students crackheads because of where they live, what race, religion, or creed they may be, or claim that the governor is raping our school systems. Rape is not an adjective, and as a rape victim, I can assure you that language should not be used to display any type of disgust on what is happening with our school funding. It's a disservice to the cause at hand to deter the attention to someone's choice of words rather than what you're trying to fix. Every student in our state deserves the same opportunity, and that begins with an equal and fair school funding formula. Thank you.
Give your name to the clerk, please.
Hi, I'm Frank Wimbush, live in Hopatcong. I only have like one little question comment. I'm really looking at the agenda. I don't know what a partial vacation of an Hopatcong street right away means. I really don't know what that means. So I'm hoping maybe during your discussions, maybe you can fill me in on what that means.
No public? Going once? I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Well, I tell you the truth, I feel a little left out because I have not been online today, so your comments, I'm sure, are well taken. I understand the concern. I don't know the details, so I cannot speak to it. That's the truth. Recreation, you know, Dave, I've applied in great detail. I don't think I printed. Did I print that or not? I don't know if I released the grant that I got from the federal government for our park and recreation. I've included every park, and my request is for $1.2 million, which includes the skate park. It includes all of our park improvements. I'd like to do them all at one time. And unfortunately, I wish we could do it all at one time. We simply cannot afford it. I wish we could, but we can't. So we do it piecemeal. For example, in this year's budget, we put $30,000 aside for the skate park, but we can't do it for that. So if we don't get help from the feds or the state, then we'll do that every year. When we have enough to do it, then we'll do it in order necessary things to improve it. So that's being done. The signage by the new intersection is county, so we can share with them our concerns about signage. Vacating the street, right, that's the end of a Hopatcong Street, which is lakefront. We're going to actually vacate 10 feet of that by 33 feet wide, and that includes the dock. That we either vacate it or we take it down. So when we vacate a piece of property, it goes to the contiguous property owners. In this case, it would probably be lower. So if we don't vacate it, we're going to take it down, and then that might be just a waste because we cannot afford the liability of it nor the expense to redo that dock. If Lola's can, then God bless them. So that's why we're vacating that. So hopefully that helps you. Oh, Optimum, Dave. I did recommend, that was at a past council meeting, and I recommended that the individual that had a lot of concern contacted BPU. He did get some results. So anytime you have a problem with a utility like that, especially Optimum, contact the BPU. They're a regulated utility. They're not a phone company. They're considered a utility. And when their franchise comes up for renewal, we certainly will have a public hearing on it, as we did last time. I think it's every 5 years that we do that. And so hopefully that helps. Okay. Approval of minutes, approval of the 4/20/2022 minutes. January Smith not eligible. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it, Mayor.
Sorry. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Schindler?
No.
Mr. Smith? And Mr. Young?
Resolution 2022-74, approval of development.
Thank you. Does anyone need anything removed or discussed? Not hearing or seeing any, I'll move the bill list in its entirety.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Schindler?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Ordinances, these are introduction. Or consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Schindler?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Now we're ordinances, these are introduction. Ordinance 9/2022, special emergency for reevaluation costs. Ordinance authorizing a special emergency approval of $500,000 for the preparation and execution of a complete program of revaluation of all real property.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Roberts? Yes. Mr. Schindler?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Introduction to ordinance 10/2022, partial vacation portion of the Hopatcong Street right of way in the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Yes. Ms. Roberts? Yes. Mr. Schindler?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
There are no final hearings. There are no resolutions. There's no old business. Any old business? Any new business? I promise not to speak too long.
It's going to be a quick meeting otherwise, Mike.
I'm gonna try.
We're holding you to it.
Yeah, so, COVID, please be careful. Please pay attention to where you're at. Please, if you wish, wear a mask. If you wish, don't. If you want to protect yourself, that's a good thing. But it's a personal choice, and we can't force it on you anymore. In the month of January, the Borough of Hopatcong had 730 positive cases. In the month of February, we had 45 positive cases. In the month of March, we had 47 positive cases. In the month of April, we had 106. So it's that bell that they talk about. Just be careful. These new strains come along and they have fancy names for them. But as I understand it, these variances or these variants aren't as deadly as the first one, but they will make you sick. I've been vaccinated and boosted and whatever else because, that's my personal preference. And it looks like from these numbers, in January there weren't a lot of vaccinations going on. Then all of a sudden there were. And I'd like to believe that when the numbers drop, that will result of people getting vaccinated and being more careful. This was a steep learning curve for us with this COVID stuff. And I know friends and people in town, because I get the call when we lose someone. And it's never a good call, and neither is it a good experience when it's someone you know or a friend. So I urge people to be careful. It's a personal responsibility that everybody should have and should keep. I don't think government has a place in forcing you to do anything. I would just say, please be careful. Pay attention to the people around you and yourself. National Day of Prayer is tomorrow, the 5th, at 12 noon in Motor Park. It's really nice, and you should come and visit if you can. It's refreshing to hear people talk and sometimes renew their faith. And in these days, with all the stuff going on in the world, sometimes a little faith goes a long way. I'm not a preacher and don't pretend to do, but in my experience said that sometimes it means a little something that people get a little less white knuckled, and sometimes it's good just to talk with people and communicate. That's always a good thing. I'm working on another project for the lake, actually. I'm working on an aeration project for the middle of the lake, which includes 900 acres. It's in very early stages, and I've been working on funding for it from private enterprise, and I'm working with the Lake Foundation and the Lake Commission and some major companies that do lake management. Hopefully we can get some more life into our lake and oxygen into our lake. So President Cole so far has been very successful. The ice fishermen love it. So it did something good. And they were actually catching fish there, believe it or not. And so we're going to see, I take personal responsibility for our lake. We're the entire West Shore. And if the lake is sick, the Borough of Hopatcong doesn't do well. And I wasn't going to say anything about our school. All three of my children have graduated our school system. The oldest boy has a PhD. My daughter has a master's degree, and my youngest, my middle son, has a bachelor's degree. So if someone knocks our school, that's an insult to our town. The school is a very important piece of our community. And anything and everything that this administration can do to make our schools better, we will do. Make no mistake. And so I've spoken to the superintendent. I've spoken publicly at the two meetings and reminded the school that I do not approve tax increases in any way, shape, or manner. But that being said, that's their business and we do ours. But our job as the Borough Council is to make sure we help them every way possible. And that means if we got to go to bat for them, we will. And whatever we can do to make our school better, the quality better, and support our teachers. And I'd like to do it, and I'd like to work with them so that they don't have to raise taxes, and we can figure out a way to do this. And it's going to take a little bit of effort, and I'm committed to that personally, representing this council and this borough. So make no mistake that we support our education and the quality of our education. But when someone knocks it, they're knocking it down. I take that personally. So I just want to be clear with where we come from on that. So thank you. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mike, before we adjourn, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Do you mind? There's a lot of strong feelings here tonight, and I want to be sensitive to that. We are a cohesive council, but it doesn't mean we're not autonomous. It doesn't mean we know what the other is doing all day long. We all have full-time jobs. So the lady that cursed across the room at us and the accusations, it's not fair, it's out of place, and all that does is further divide us. If there's going to be yelling or cursing, I'm going to ask for a police officer to be available for our meeting. With that being said, like I said, we are cohesive, but it doesn't mean we know what everyone is doing all during the day. We all have full-time jobs. This does not support us. We have families. We have all kinds of things that we're doing. So things happen today that people are upset, and my heart hurts for some of the feelings that were brought up here. And so I'm not going to speak for anyone, but I would, Mayor, like to give Ryan the opportunity, if he wants to say something, to make amendments before we adjourn.
I was upset. I was very upset. I said some things I shouldn't have. I think every parent in the room understands that it's very difficult to hold your words back, to not say those nasty things when you're really mad. I don't think there's a person in the room who could raise their hand and say they've never done that. I'm mad as hell. Those schools, those two friends that really went at me, I went to school with them. I love them dearly. They're my friends. But they're teachers in districts that got funding. Their schools have foreign language programs. Their schools have arts programs. Their schools have orchestra programs. Our schools have none of that. But they're taking money from us, and they're giving them to those schools. And perhaps my choice of words was incorrect. Perhaps I was insensitive in using rape and crackheads. I'm sorry if I used the words that made you upset. But I'm not going to apologize for my anger. I'm a father first. I'm a town councilman second. I put that on my personal page. I did not put that on my Hopatcong Councilman page. And I did it for a reason. I wanted you guys to look at it. I post every day positive things about this town. I get crickets every day about the positive things about this town. I put those words in there purposefully. You can call it clickbait, you can call it what you want. But there were 41 comments and a debate was had. People were passionate. People cared. It mattered today. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'll apologize for the things that I said. But I'm not going to apologize that we were mad. Because I'm still mad. That governor took $8 million out of our budget and gave it to school systems that have way more programs than we do. My kids go to school here. My kids deserve an education too. Are they getting the same education that they're getting in those schools that are getting the money? No. They're not. It's not fair. It's not right. My kids go to school here. My kids deserve funding too. So while I apologize for using the word rape, Rachel, I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
a
sorry.
disgusting human being. You're
Thank you.
disgusting.
I'm
Clickbait? Clickbait! You should be ashamed.
I'm not going
There
to be
is no
ashamed that
apology
people
you
were
can ever give
passionate
that would
about
ever
this, and I'm
actually
still
mean anything.
passionate about it. I'm sorry that I used the wrong word, but I am not sorry that I was mad, and I'm not sorry that I'm still mad.
I'm just as mad.
I understand.
We have
You have a right
students,
to.
we have students too in the
All right.
district.
You have a right to.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. I hope that helped.
Disgusting.
Get a little bit off your
Disgusting.
chest. And I think that sometimes we do the wrong thing right, and sometimes we do the right thing wrong. And so we're all human beings. And so we can address it openly and honestly like we just did. And so what I don't say is that I've taken the superintendent's letter, and the governor has that letter, which is the petition. And our congresswoman has that letter. And our senator has that letter. And our federal senator has that letter. I don't say much about that often, because that's my way of helping, and my way of bringing our town and our school the attention that they need. And as I've said 100 times before, the Borough of Hopatcong has a presence, and that presence takes work to do. And so when you talk to the federal representative and state representative, they know about Hopatcong. They don't know much about our school. They need to know that 20% of our students have special needs. They need to know that when they cut it, the children that are most in need get hurt the most. And they have to know that we need all these programs. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on, but my passion runs a little bit differently. And Ryan, his passion and anger, I don't get mad, I get focused. But some people get angry, as we all have. And have said things the wrong way in the wrong context. And when they acknowledge that, please understand each other. But I think we all want to see the same result. I think we do. We all get there in a different way. We're all individuals. We're all human beings. So sometimes there's a little understanding that I ask for. Sometimes there's a little forgiveness for our human weaknesses, if you will. And we all have them. I have them too, and one of them talking too much, so I'll stop. So, thank you all for coming, but make no mistake where this town and this administration comes from. And if anybody has a question, most of you have my cell phone. Feel free to call, and you'll hear the same thing and maybe more. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye.